I'm Geordie from Crash, and today we thought it'd be apt to discuss the situation around Alex Albon and whether or not he will be a Red Bull driver in 2021. Without a doubt, Alex is a solid performer with a lot of determination and grit, which has been shown through his journey to Formula One against all the odds. But Alex is struggling this season, and it's brought into question whether or not Red Bull will want to hold on to him for next year, or whether they go outside of the academy for Nico Hülkenberg or Sergio Perez, or move for a switch back with Pierre Gasly. We mustn't forget that Alex did first join Red Bull in the second half of the last season, replacing a struggling Pierre, and proved to be a solid performer. However, come 2020, the tides have turned, and just as Gasly was battling at Red Bull alongside Max Verstappen, Albon is feeling the same, and despite his maiden podium at Mugello, his lackluster performances in Red Bull have thrown his future into doubt. Alex has struggled to match teammate Max Verstappen and has had unfortunate incidents with Lewis Hamilton in both Brazil and Austria and has not been able to maximise this year's RB16. There is no doubting from his radio messages, post-race interviews and his body language exuded that Alex is struggling. The pressure is building on him, and at last weekend's Eiffel GP he had a performance to forget, suffering a huge lock-up in the beginning of the race and flat-spotting his tyres, meaning that the strategy went out the window. Alex was forced to pit and then had an unfortunate clash with Danny Kvyat, knocking the latter's front wing off. And it got worse. He almost clashed with Pierre Gasly and came on the radio and complained that they were racing him too hard, evidently feeling the pressure. Subsequently, Alex ended up retiring from the race with a power unit issue. So with all this to take into consideration, we decided to pose the question to some of our fellow team members at Crash. Is it Alex? Or is it the car?
There are no doubts that Red Bull's RB16 is a particularly difficult car to drive, and we saw some early indications of that being the case back in pre-season testing in Barcelona, where Max Verstappen spun multiple times. It is these inconsistent handling and balance characteristics of RB16 that Albon has struggled with, while Max has been able to drive through these problems and get the most out of the car. It was a similar situation last year with Pierre Gasly's struggles. Albon has struggled to find that sweet spot in the RB16, while Max has been able to tame the car and extract the most from it. It is worth remembering, of course, that Max is a once-in-a-generation talent, and his ability to get the most out of the car is exposing Albon's weak points.
So if Red Bull does choose to replace Alex, who will they select?
Working in Alex's favour, not that he necessarily wanted to be the only reason for keeping him on board, is that there is a dearth of viable options really to replace him. The obvious choice would be Pierre Gasly, but of course we've been here before, haven't we? I wouldn't go as far to say that Gasly has redeemed himself in Red Bull's eyes because frankly he didn't need to, but vindicated is perhaps a better word. However, by swapping them over, again, would seem counterproductive in that Pierre would go back to a pressure cooker environment and it risks demotivating Alex, with no guarantee the result would actually be any different. Once upon a time, Red Bull was dripping in talent through its junior programme, but while there's some promising names on there right now, there's only one with a viable option to accumulate the super license points he needs to step up. That'd be Yuki Tsunoda, but an AlphaTauri seat at best awaits him. There are other more experienced drivers knocking about, and Nico Hülkenberg for instance comes to mind. Red Bull would probably be better off just nurturing the talent it's actually got, rather than spooking itself, going for an experienced hand, again, with no guarantee the results would actually be any better.
Is the Red Bull second seat cursed?
Is the second seat at Red Bull cursed? That's the $1 million question. Or perhaps that should be the $25 million question, since that's how much Max Verstappen reportedly rakes in every year. Up against the wunderkid Max is daunting enough without talk of a cursed seat playing on your mind, so it'd be a great demonstration of Alex's mental fortitude if he's able to claw back some initiative next year. Indeed, one could say Gasly's struggles at Red Bull last year, followed by his race-winning performances with the AlphaTauri this year, rather shines a light back onto Red Bull itself, be it the car, the culture, Christian Horner. I'm kidding. I'm definitely kidding, yeah. Let's just say I don't believe in cursed seats, but I do believe in cursed environments.
So, all in all, do you think Alex Albon will be a Red Bull driver next season?
I think he will be, but there is no doubt that Albon has some work to do. Albon's biggest problem this season is that he's given himself far too much to do in the races by underachieving in qualifying. He has proved time and time again that he can race well through the field and pull off some great overtakes, but he needs to improve on Saturdays and fast. There have been glimpses of progress recently with his brilliant drive to the podium at Mugello, and qualifying display in Germany, where he got much closer to Verstappen, he just needs these types of performances on a more regular basis. Albon is no stranger to setbacks in his career, and he has shown that he has the mental resolve to bounce back from tough times. He has been given time, and now he needs to harness his full potential.
You know, for me, there is no doubt that Alex is a brilliant driver, but in a seat alongside someone like Max Verstappen, you're always going to be doubting yourself and second guessing, but I think it's a battle both mentally and on the track that Alex is more than capable of having. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Alex will stay at Red Bull? Will they go for Nico Hülkenberg or Sergio Perez perhaps? What do you think is going to happen? Let us know, and don't forget to like and subscribe.